Well, it can be quite disruptive if your Wi-Fi network stops suddenly working, but that's not the only vulnerability of this kind of network on home routers. The biggest problem with deauth vulnerability, which most of home routers are still vulnerable to, is that it can be used to crack your Wi-Fi password. Today we're going to test this with my Raspberry Pi on our home router. We're going to try to crack our password. To do this vulnerability test on our Wi-Fi network, we are going to use aircrack-ng suite, which is open source and allows this kind of assessment of your Wi-Fi network. And here comes very important disclaimer: never use this or any other offensive tools against anyone. You only can do those tests on your own private devices without impacting anyone else around. When you are attacking someone, it's strictly illegal. You can do this security assessment only on your private network. And of course, in this video, we're going to do this security assessment on our private devices, on our private network, without impacting anyone. This is very important before we start. Here, we encourage only ethical behavior and never attacking anyone. So this example just shows that your Wi-Fi network at home is vulnerable. And I will give you some advices how can you protect. So let's start. Using tutorial from aircrack-ng site, we follow the instructions to assess the security of our Wi-Fi network. In order to do that, we downloaded a list of some unsecure passwords which will be used for cracking my own password. First thing first, we need to initialize our Wi-Fi adapter as monitor mode. airmon-ng start w11. Here we go. Let's create a temp folder. We'll collect their packets. Let's go to another terminal. And we will need to find our target. aerodump-ng w11. Mon. So we found our wireless LAN, MAC address of the router, and its channel. Now let's go to temp folder. And let's start collecting the packets. aerodump-ng, -C11, that's the channel, --, BSSAD, that's the MAC address of the router, -WPSK, W11 mon. As you can see, we have collected some packets from the network communication, the cat file of our interest. Here we can see that the station is connected to our router. That's our tablet we are testing on. Let's send the deauth packet. airplane -ng -0 1 -C. That's the MAC address of our station, -A MAC address of our router, W11 mon. Here you go, we sent the deauth packet. So now the tablet will try now connecting again. aircrack-ng -W, our password dictionary file, -B, this is our router, PSK star.cap. Bingo! The password is football. That was quick. In the beginning of this video we demonstrated you how this deauth-type deauth monster v5 disrupted my network communication to my tablet. This small device exploits known vulnerability in Wi-Fi routers, which is called deauth, deauthentication. It is sending the authentication packets to the devices and they are stopping from communicating with your Wi-Fi. Basically, it's rendering your Wi-Fi to be useless. This is possible because of the vulnerability in most of the home routers, which are sending their management frames in non-encrypted way. So in most of enterprise routers and more serious routers, management frames are being encrypted. And this is one of the protocols. So if you are choosing your next router, make sure that it supports encrypted management frames. And that just was the small tiny device. We also showed you with Raspberry Pi, which is a more sophisticated computer, that it's very easy to crack your Wi-Fi password. Using deauth exploit, while sending deauth packets to the victim, it will try to authenticate again to your Wi-Fi network and it will be sending the password. This password can be captured and can be decrypted quite easily. You saw, it just took 1 second. So basically, when you are using your Wi-Fi, you are broadcasting all your communication on the air and everyone can capture it very easily. And if you are using your home router, which is most likely vulnerable to deauth attacks, someone could easily connect to your Wi-Fi network. So how can you protect yourself? First, you can use more sophisticated Wi-Fi routers which do support encrypted management frames. And second, where possible, if you have a critical communication, you should use Ethernet cables. So if you will invest in Ethernet cables and will connect all your devices where possible with Ethernet cable, you will be much less vulnerable to this kind of attacks. Because someone with malicious intentions would have to gain physical access to your home network or exploit it vulnerable to this kind of attack. The instructions in the aircrack-ng site how to test the vulnerability of your network are pretty simple. Actually, anyone can do this. No need to be expert, no need to use zero-day exploits, buffer overflows, nothing. Very simple. Every kid who just knows how to search simple things in the internet can easily figure out how to do this. It can be done with the Raspberry Pi, with your home computer, with your Linux. There are Kali Linux distributions. So the home Wi-Fi is very vulnerable. So if possible, use Ethernet connections. Where you can, at least you will be protected against attacks on the air. Please subscribe to get notifications for our new videos and please stay safe on your Wi-Fi net.